Code switching, social implications. In this module, we are going to explore the social implications of code switching. That is, when you are using two languages at the same time. Now, it is argued that any conversation that takes place through language as a code is based on a cooperative principle. A cooperative principle would mean that we would need to communicate as clearly as possible the meaning that we want to convey. So it is based on a cooperative principle because the hearer wants to understand and we want to explain, and together we work on a cooperative principle on which we try to make our meanings clearer. And in that also, code switching plays a part in explaining certain items that might not be accessible to the person you are talking to in one language. So you either move on to the other language or you sort of switch to a dialect. So although it is the referential content, that is, it is the content itself, the message itself that is of primary importance in this cooperative principle, because we want to say what we want to say and we want other person to understand what we are saying. However, it is argued also that when we code switch, it is not just because of referential reasons or for explanation of the content, but it is also actually a negotiation of relational power. So we try to redefine the power relationships between us and those we are talking to by code switching. Now, what is this negotiation principle as such? A negotiation principle is based on the assumption that all of us within a given speech community fully understand the value of different languages or the language and the dialect and the meaning that we attach to it. So that means that the language that we are using symbolizes a set of desirable consequences. Not only that, it actually symbolizes a set of rights and obligations. So when you talk to somebody who might be a friend in an office environment, and in that your role is that of a superior, you would use this official language because under which there will be an implication of the rights and obligations that you would like to be imposed. So that is, of course, rights and obligations between the speakers. And when we say that and when we talk about it, we are talking about it with reference to a specific context. So what are the set of maxims when we are talking about this negotiation principle? We are saying that we refer to the choice of one language over the other or one variety of language over the other based on our relationship at the given moment in the given context with the speaker. So our code switching is actually an indication of our relationship. For instance, how many times you have been to this meeting which starts off in this official English language, and then towards the end of the meeting, people revert to Urdu or to original language and they crack jokes. So again, this is sort of an indication of a dual relationship that exists between the speakers. So what we are saying is, that referential information, that is the content that we want to say, is only one aspect of the linguistic change. The switching of the languages or the code switching has its own meaning which complements what you are saying. So the referential content contributes also to social relationship by virtue of the language code in which it is put forth. The research says that even when the content is kept constant, that is, if the same thing is being said and the language that within which it is being said, then the consequences or the relational outcomes are different, that the implications in terms of relational power are different when the language code is differently used. So we are saying that language choice contributes to social meaning. It is not just haphazard, it is deliberately done there. You might say now that when we code switch, we hardly even think about it. Yes, you hardly even think about it, because when you speak the language, for instance, Urdu or English, you are hardly even thinking of the grammar that you are following. Similarly, when you are code switching, you don't think about this grammar of relationships that it carries, but it is at work subconsciously and it works differently in different domains, and that is why you code switch in certain domains and you don't code switch in other domains.